Off the coast of Antarctica, deep underwater, researchers have discovered the British ship called Endurance, the vessel that launched one of the most remarkable stories of survival and determination.
The last remaining territory on the planet that could have such a designation is Antarctica.
Antarctica is usually seen as empty and cold, but deep beneath its icy surface lies a surprising world of life. Scientists believe that hidden currents beneath the ice shelf might be bringing nutrients and sustaining life. Joe Rogan has revealed 20 incredible discoveries in Antarctica that could rewrite history. Let's explore these mysteries together. A wallet lost 53 years ago. Consider losing your wallet, a frequent occurrence for most of us. Imagine losing it on a freezing world that has interesting links to Mars. Paul Grisham, a retired Navy meteorologist, experienced just that. Workers on the frozen continent contacted him after an incredible 53 years to inform him that they had located his long-lost wallet. However, how did it get there? Let's rewind over half a century ago to Paul's time stationed in Antarctica during Operation Deep Freeze from 1967 to 1968. He provided vital support to civilian scientists working on the continent. Fast forward to 2014, during the demolition of a building on Ross Island, Paul's wallet was discovered tucked away behind a locker. Inside, it held a treasure trove of items documenting moments from his life in Navy service, including his Navy ID card, driver's license, beer ration punch card, and receipts for money orders sent to his wife, among other things. However, locating Paul proved to be quite the challenge. The return of his wallet was made possible thanks to a dedicated group of amateur detectives who embarked on a weeks-long quest, exchanging emails, letters, and Facebook messages to track him down. When Paul was finally reached, he was overwhelmed with joy. Interestingly, he couldn't even recall losing the wallet in the first place. Nonetheless, he shared fond memories of his time spent working on the icy continent. Recovered satellite data reveals the lost continent. With over 8,377 satellites orbiting the world as of January 2024, we can better comprehend the weather, seas, land, and atmosphere of our home planet. They also enable us to link individuals who live in distant locations and make phone conversations while in flight. However, let's go back to 2018, when an intriguing event occurred. Examining data from a satellite that had not been in operation for 5 years, scientists made an amazing finding regarding the history of Antarctica. This satellite was none other than the European Space Agency's 2009 Gravity Field and Ocean Circulation Explorer, GOES. Over 4 years, GOES meticulously mapped the Earth's gravity field until it was purposely decommissioned. What's intriguing is that this satellite held gravity images that completely transformed our understanding of Antarctica. Joe Rogan couldn't believe it. The newfound data revealed compelling evidence suggesting that India, Australia, and Antarctica were once part of a single landmass called Gondwana, which was a fragment of the ancient supercontinent Pangaea over 180 million years ago. Today, traces of this ancient land lie buried beneath Antarctica, offering a golden opportunity for exploration and the potential discovery of invaluable insights. Rainforest and fossils. It's interesting to note that Antarctica wasn't always covered in ice while considering indications of life. Imagine a period when an area that is currently ice and chilly was home to lush rainforests. Antarctica was a balmy tropical region with colorful rainforests prior to the Ice Age. In fact, there are others who think that there were civilizations there prior to the Ice Age. Fossilized wood, remnants of tropical trees, and leaf impressions discovered nearby provide evidence for this theory. Scientists have also discovered fossils of marine animals, birds, and dinosaurs from a long time ago, suggesting it used to be warm. Additionally, they found fossils of a beetle species that's 20 million years old, which indicates a warm climate back then. These discoveries make us wonder if there might still be hidden rainforests in Antarctica, home to unknown creatures and perhaps even civilizations. 66 million years old fossil. Scientists occasionally discover odd phenomena that defy explanation. An extremely ancient reptile egg was once discovered in Chile. They had no idea what it was, so they dubbed it the Thing. Before they suddenly learned it was a large egg, about the size of an elephant bird's egg, It had been kept at the museum for almost 10 years. They believe it was deposited by a mosasaur, a type of marine lizard. Nearby, they found baby and grown-up mosasaur and plesiosaur skeletons, suggesting it might have been a nursery. The egg is big and fragile, showing how these sea lizards had special ways of having babies. Scientists are still trying to figure out if the egg hatched on land or in the water, like modern sea snakes and turtles. It's amazing how one egg can teach us so much. In 2018, one scientist guessed it was an egg, but scans showed there was no baby inside. They thought it might belong to a dinosaur, but it didn't match. Later, they thought it might have something to do with mosasaurs. A huge icefish colony. Scientists were performing a regular seabed survey in the icy Weddell Sea of Antarctica when they discovered something remarkable. They were astounded to see a massive colony of fish nests that was unheard of. This enormous nest was the biggest ever recorded, encompassing an area of over 240 square kilometers, 92 square miles. The nests were finely constructed, with tiny stones set in a certain pattern on the muddy bottom. They were 15 centimeters deep and 75 centimeters in circumference. Each nest cradled anywhere between 1,500 to 2,500 eggs, often guarded by adult ice fish. Over the next 4 days, the research team documented an astonishing number of over 60 million active nests, a discovery almost as vast as the city of Orlando, Florida. This finding carries significant implications for the local ecosystem, as these fish play a crucial role in the diet of Weddell seals. Despite the challenging environment, these creatures are remarkably resilient, with antifreeze in their bloodstream, making them among the hardiest inhabitants of the ocean in this region. The Colossal Squid Expedition. The enormous squid, which may reach lengths of nearly 46 feet, is a remarkable marine animal. Back in 1925, parts of this species were discovered within the stomach of a sperm whale. However, it wasn't until 2003 that researchers discovered a whole 18-foot-long female giant squid in the Ross Sea. Once thought to be a myth, a group known as Colossal is now conducting an expedition in Antarctica to gather more information on this squid. The Colossal organization is leading this expedition, and they're using special cameras and lights made by subsea imaging to explore underwater. They want to find out important things about the colossal squid, like how big it really is, where it likes to live, how it has babies, and what its giant eye does. They're especially curious if the eye helps the squid fight, protect itself, or if it's attracted to lights. They also want to understand how the squid makes light. This expedition is happening at a special time because it's the 100th anniversary of the first time people found parts of the colossal squid in 1925. 1 million-year-old DNA. Scientists have found an important finding in the chilly waters of the Scotia Sea, which is located just north of Antarctica. They discovered incredibly old DNA, 1 million years old, in deep-sea sediments. This find is the oldest known finding of marine sedimentary DNA, or cetDNA. However, what is cetDNA exactly? Consider it a molecular version of a time machine. With the use of this novel approach, scientists may now see into the past to determine the sorts of organisms that formerly roamed the ocean and their exact living periods. This discovery holds great significance as it contributes to our understanding of aquatic organisms, such as krill, which do not leave behind fossils. Penguins, seals, and whales in Antarctica depend heavily on krill for their sustenance. To make this discovery, scientists from different countries, including the University of Tasmania and the University of Bremen, looked deep into the ocean's history. They studied sediments collected during the IODP expedition 382 in 2019 very carefully to find this ancient DNA. They made sure to be very careful to avoid any contamination and make sure the DNA they found was real. The world's oldest pyramids. Typically, when we hear about pyramids, we picture Egypt, with its scorching temperatures and aging monarchs. However, what if I told you that an unexpected location for pyramid discoveries is Antarctica? You did really hear correctly. It appears that in order to withstand the harsh climate, early inhabitants of Antarctica constructed pyramids. The question of how somebody might survive in the very cold climate of Antarctica has long baffled ordinary scientists. But something intriguing was discovered by scientists in 2016. Photos taken by satellites revealed an odd structure protruding from the ice. Even though it's hard to go there and it's dangerous, they thought it looked like a pyramid made by people. These pyramids looked like the ones in Egypt, but here's the thing. The Antarctic Pyramid is even bigger than the Great Pyramid of Egypt. So why haven't you heard about it before? Well, scientists haven't been able to go there and see them up close. This makes us think that maybe people lived and did well in Antarctica a long time ago. Sadly, all clues of their being there are now hidden under the snow. Wood-eating fungi. Recent research in Antarctica's treeless region has revealed a peculiar kind of fungus. The idea that these fungi were consuming historical relics from the era when humanity were exploring the Arctic areas is unexpected. Renowned explorers like Ernest Shackleton and Robert Scott had constructed these wooden huts, which they were demolishing. The ability of these mushrooms to endure and proliferate in the absence of trees in Antarctica for millions of years is quite remarkable. Observing wood-eating critters in an unexpected location is fascinating. This finding demonstrates how nature never ceases to astound us. Shipwreck of Shackleton's Endurance. The shipwreck of Sir Ernest Shackleton's Endurance was discovered in Antarctica, marking a significant milestone in the history of polar exploration. From 1914 to 1917, Shackleton's renowned but unfortunate expedition made use of the Endurance. The ship sank after being lodged in ice. The wreck was recently discovered deep down by a group of scientists investigating the Weddell Sea off the coast of Antarctica. They found the British ship Endurance, which started one of the most amazing stories of bravery and survival. The ship's remains are in really good condition because of the cold water. This discovery gives us a special peek into the incredible story of Shackleton and his crew, who went through a lot of tough times but managed to survive. Finding the shipwreck reminds us of the strong spirit and toughness of these explorers when they faced very hard challenges. It also helps us learn more about the early days of exploring Antarctica and the lasting impact of Shackleton's expedition. UFO. Recently, something strange on Google Maps piqued people's interest in Antarctica. A crashed UFO stranded in the snow was how it seemed. This object protrudes from the white surroundings and is around 65 feet broad by 230 feet long. It was reportedly noticed by Russian mystic Valentine DCTV, who said it seemed to be a UFO. People began to wonder, do aliens conceal their spacecraft in Antarctica? However, scientists claim that it's simply a crevasse, or a naturally occurring fissure in the ice. Already, Antarctica is well known for its discoveries, such as the discovery of meteorites. Thus, although the idea of aliens is entertaining, ice is actually acting naturally this time. Meteorites of Antarctica. More meteorites have been discovered in Antarctica than on all other continents combined, which is an intriguing finding. Though they can fall anywhere on Earth, meteorites, fractures from the early solar system, seem to be concentrated in Antarctica. The fact that meteorites are better preserved in Antarctica than in other locations is one explanation. Furthermore, meteorites are more noticeable in Antarctica since there are less common rocks there. In an exciting expedition in December 2022, researchers used satellite images to find and uncover one of the heaviest meteorites ever found in Antarctica. This impressive meteorite weighed a whopping 16.8 pounds. But what's really important about meteorites isn't just their weight. It's the valuable information they can tell us about our universe and how our solar system was formed. Who knows what's? Mount Arabus. Despite being covered in ice, Antarctica is home to a number of volcanoes. For instance, there are 4 different volcanoes on Ross Island, 3 of which are dormant at the moment. But in the last 30 years, there has been increased volcanic activity at the 4th, Mount Arabus. This suggests that it may erupt once more, according to scientists. With its molten magma and ancient lava lakes that have remained boiling for over 1.3 million years, Mount Arabus is a really intriguing place to visit. At 3,800 meters high, it's one of Antarctica's most active and enigmatic volcanoes. But we still don't know much about this volcano because it's in a very isolated location. Thanks for watching.